both of whom can't go into churches without vomiting.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be around this wild, wacky, and sometimes disturbing world of ours. Yes, that's the intro to the Mindset Podcast, a weekly attempt to open eyes and shedding light on what's really going on in the world, all done by ripping apart the media madness that masquerades as news. Join me, Gareth Davis, every Sunday on the Mindset Podcast. You can find the show on all major podcasting services such as iTunes, Stitcher, and so on. Or you can go directly to the main Mindset website. That's www.mindsetcentral.com. Check out the Mindset Podcast. Bring your curiosity, your opinions, and a sense of humor. And remember that some worldviews are stranger than others.
You've tuned into Nocturnal Frequency Radio with your hosts, Steve and Alex.
We're on. Welcome, everybody.
Where are we?
We are live in space.
We're live in space.
We
Live
are.
in space. Live in space. Alive in space.
For another Freak Out Friday. Cheers.
Yeah, it's pretty cold out there.
It's so I can't remember who said this, but it's hard nipple something else. I try to figure out that saying, but it was freaking hilarious. Anyway, it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
All you need to know
it
it's
is
cold. Yeah.
Lots of snow out this way. Like I said, a lot of snow out this way. More coming. And just what you need. Just what you need when you're during a lockdown, if you will, even though they're slowly opening things up.
Yep.
They throw you a curveball with all this snow and the cold weather, of course. I mean, let's face it. I mean, not a lot of people go out during these months anyways.
No.
Because it's cold.
It is cold. You can't really do it. You can't even enjoy anything outside. Like even
Well, a lot of people would disagree with you.
Fair enough. I'm talking about
Right.
myself mostly.
Well, yeah, most people would. I mean, some people would disagree with you. Not most people, but yeah, it's there's not really a lot to do. I mean, you can go out and toboggan, ski, and all that kind of stuff, but you can't really do that right now.
Yeah.
Certain things, anyways. I mean, you could play hockey on a water reservoir.
Yeah. You know what? I've seen a lot of people up in my area doing that. There's a lot of little ponds, I guess, for lack of a better term, scattered around just north of where I live.
Mm.
And a lot of them just like they clean the snow out and just play hockey or skate it, make it into a big skating rink. It's pretty cool, actually.
I mean, you see it all over the place, and unfortunately, it's not the safest thing, because warm water gets in there, and could actually melt the ice.
Yeah.
But I mean, we saw that happen to I think a kid in Milton actually, who fell through and died. You know. I don't know. I mean, are we I don't know. In this society, I think it just seems like there's a lot of stuff that people are too worried about. I think.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Way too worried. I mean, when we were kids, who cared? I mean, we got on the pond or whatever else and played hockey and did whatever.
Yeah, I think times have changed. Well,
obviously times have changed. I mean that goes without saying. But I mean, I think there's just, I don't know. I kind of think there might be a little too many restrictions on certain things. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, I remember when I was younger, we used to play street hockey on the street.
Yeah.
Now it's not allowed in the city of Toronto at all. Right.
I know.
So, and it's like, well, I mean, in one sense, I can understand because traffic has increased.
Mm-hmm.
So, and back when I was a kid, there weren't as many cars as there are nowadays, and people seem to pay attention to things like that more so back then than they do now. Everybody seems to be in a rush now. They couldn't care less about anybody else. So,
yeah.
So they've basically made it illegal to play street hockey on the street.
They made it illegal, like it's a drug.
Yeah.
Don't play hockey on the street.
Plus, I guess people complained that too many broken windows, I guess.
You know what? I think there's way too many complainers out there, to be honest.
I don't disagree with you.
People complain about the stupidest fucking things now.
Yes, agreed.
Like, I mean, complain about something legitimate. I mean, like, I don't know. What's legitimate to complain about?
World stupidity.
Oh, well, that goes without saying, right? I mean, I don't think that'll ever stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just way too much stupidity in this world.
Yeah. Agreed.
It just, and you look at these neighborhood watches, and I mean, yeah, they kind of are good, but at the same time, I don't know. Do you really want people knowing too much about you?
I don't.
Like
I'm a private person.
I know people are too nosy.
They are. They become too nosy. Well, because they think everybody thinks they know what's best for everybody else, right?
Yeah. Oh, make sure you park the car in your driveway. Parking controls coming around the corner.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking play-by-play. It's like you're watching a hockey game. Oh, hurry up. I got to go out and park my car in the driveway before I get a ticket.
Exactly.
You know what? screw you, get a ticket. Who fucking cares? Shouldn't be parked out there fucking 3 days in a row or for a full week or whatever. I mean, whatever. I don't give a shit. But I mean, like, you look at, say a snow day like today or whatever. Get the fuck off the street and let them plow.
Yeah.
You know?
Ron just commented. He goes, "You guys are celebrities. You cannot have privacy anymore."
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I still like my privacy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Shit, I was gonna say something. I forgot. Oh yeah. Before Ron beats me to it. Don't forget to subscribe and like the page. Or sorry, subscribe and like the video. Yeah, that's it. I'll get used to it eventually.
Like the video. What video?
The video we're
Did
doing
you put a
right.
video up?
The video we're doing right now. The streaming.
Oh, is this what we're calling a video? I thought it was live streaming.
Whatever. You get the point. You can see us.
Guys,
it's a video.
Guys, like the live video we put up here on YouTube.
Fucking young people.
What? I try to be as polite as a Canuck as possible here.
Yeah.
Canuck. Yeah. So. Yeah, there's way too many complainers out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, come on. There's got to be something that you can't stand that people complain about. One thing in particular.
Why you put me on the spot for? There's too many.
Why not? That's why. Why not?
I really, it really bothers me when people are overly sensitive and they basically, they'll basically prohibit you from joking or making any sort of jokes because they get easily offended.
Oh,
that's one of my biggest pet peeves because you and I are similar. We both have, a similar sense of humor, but it's one of those things like you and I both have a sarcastic sense of humor, for example.
Look, if I started picking my nose right now, you'd probably bawl your eyes out.
Yeah,
because I'm picking my nose on live, but I would never do that. I'm just saying, right?
Especially if your finger came back out with a big nugget.
Here, watch. I can get it around, guys.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, just like simple humor, I guess. I don't know.
It's the fact that now you have to be careful about what you say everywhere.
Oh, no.
And I could be out with you, Gord, a couple of other guys. We could be at a bar, joking around amongst ourselves, and someone at a table next to us might get offended. God forbid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, come on. You know what? Don't fucking listen to our conversation. Whatever.
It's like, yeah.
Ron's getting triggered.
Is it getting triggered?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, like, for instance, if I'm working out in my garage, I got the garage open, I'm doing some project in the garage or whatever. I'm the only one home, whatever. I'll blast the tunes.
Mm-hmm.
I like to, listen to music. Well, people fucking bitch and moan about shit like that.
Oh yeah.
It's like going out in the backyard and playing music and 9:00 somebody starts bitching, turn down your music, or complain to the cops at 9:00 at night. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Seriously. You're living in a fucking neighborhood where this happens. Fuck off.
Exactly.
I
could understand if it was midnight. And someone blaring the music.
Look, I mean, most people, this is where the stupidity shit comes in. But I mean, most people tend to respect that. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
It's getting a little late. I've got neighbors that have to get up early or whatever. I'll turn down the music, whatever, or turn it off, whatever. Right? I mean, again, like if I'm working in my garage, if it's getting later, okay, I'll turn the music down a bit. But if they're pissing me off, then I'll turn it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's like And thankfully, I live in a row townhouse. I mean, you're in the similar situation as I am.
Yeah.
Do you have two? Are you attached to two or one?
No, on both sides.
Yeah. See, that sucks.
Well, we got lucky. Our neighbors are pretty good on both sides.
Well, that's good. Thankfully, I'm only, attached to one, but we've been through some people have, owned the house next to us. Oh my God. But whatever. For the most part, have been really good, but there has been some times where you're like, okay, whatever.
Yep.
It's 11 o'clock and you're fucking working on it. You've got power tools going on. I'm here banging, hammering. Hello. It's 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Do you figure you're the only one that can hear this shit?
Like I got on one side, there's a firewall.
Now watch what you're saying now. People, they could be watching you right now.
That's fine. I'm not saying anything bad.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, like the one neighbor, if you're facing my house, is to the right. There's a firewall between my house and his, so it goes all the way up to the roof.
Yeah.
And even with that firewall, you can still hear. Like if he's in his living room watching TV, and he's got a pretty good stereo system, I can hear it in my living room. Not loud, but I can hear it.
Yeah.
So even with the firewall, it doesn't dampen the sound.
Firewall doesn't do anything. It just stops the spread of fire.
Yeah.
If anything, helps prevent it. But have you ever had to tell your neighbors to maybe not your current ones, but some place that you've lived before? Have you had to tell your neighbors to turn down the music, or, keep it down or anything like that?
No, I've been fortunate that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when I lived in Toronto, I didn't. I had the house behind us that was a crack house, but they weren't loud. They just had people going in and out at all hours of the night.
How many times have you been told to keep it down?
None. I'm a respectful young man.
Yeah.
I may not seem like it, but I'm a respectful young man.
You're a respectful young man.
Yeah. Not so young anymore, but anyway.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah, it's intriguing. Yeah, it's funny. So anyways, we were talking about this this new TV series on Netflix that you want to start watching. I've started watching, and it kind of pertains to a guest that we had on the show a while ago to talk about the Eliza Lamb case.
That's right.
The disappearance, and then obviously the the finding of Elizabeth Lamb, unfortunately dead. But the whole thing is very mysterious. Even though people who are trying to somewhat, say, look at, okay, she had mental issues and that's it. That's all that happened. Nothing else. There's nothing else unusual about it. But if anybody knows anything about the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, the amount of different things that have happened there, we're even talking about what serial killers living there, like the Night Stalker.
That's right.
Richard Ramirez.
Yep. Ramirez. Yeah, there's been some savory characters in that place over the years. But it's. I haven't delved too deep into the history of the hotel. I've been really intrigued with the Eliza Lamb scenario, and that's why I want to also watch the documentary. I'm hoping that it's actually more than just a couple episodes or just one episode with Eliza Lamb. I want to see if I can, hopefully stretch it out a couple of episodes at the very least.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I started watching the first episode. We haven't. We're about halfway through, if anything. It's so far it's pretty good. So far I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I mean, yeah, it's an interesting case. And here, I'm going to put you on the spot again. Let's see. Do you remember who we had on to talk about it?
Fuck no.
Oh,
You know I'm
man.
bad with names. I'm surprised I even
my
remember
God.
Eliza Lamb's name.
What?
I'm surprised I even remember Eliza Lamb's name because I'm horrible with names.
Oh my God.
Horrible, horrible, horrible with names. I gotta take some medication for that.
So,
Help my
anyways,
memory.
the one that's on Netflix is called Crime Scene: The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah.
Now, the documentary that was supposed to come out, I don't think it ever came out. Let me see. I'm just looking it up now to see if it actually came out. No. No, it doesn't look like it was ever released. I don't think. Yeah, I don't see anything on it. Everything I see is basically now what's on Netflix, the one that is currently on Netflix right now. So of course that's going to take over every search, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think the documentary, it was called whatever happened to Eliza Lamb. Right, I think that was the name of the documentary that was supposed to come out. Let me see. So okay, so you want to see it? What about this case? What about this thing that you're most intrigued with? Like why do you want to see it?
Well, because of the way it happened. Just her behavior in the elevator just before she disappeared. Now, again, we know that she was it schizophrenic?
Well, yeah, she had a mental.
She did have a mental condition.
She,
I'm just not sure which one it is.
that she was taking medication for.
Right. So it may have been a possibility that she was off her meds and she was having an episode, but it's just weird how that happened, and then shortly after that she disappears. It's just too coincidental for me, and that's one of the things that intrigued me about this case. Is not so much because I think has anything to do with anything paranormal, obviously, but just the fact that she just disappeared, just like that, and then found later in the water tower.
Yeah, nice going. You just gave it away. It away. You just
please.
Maybe
Anybody could look it up.
Know.
We even had a guest on to talk about it.
I'm just kidding. Spoilers.
Our whole show is a spoiler alert.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, so when you do a search on it, the Netflix documentary rules the kingdom.
Yeah.
There's no other thing. I can't find anything else. Even on the one even when I put in the title for the documentary that we had talking about on our show, it seems like it doesn't even exist.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now that's the in thing, right? The Netflix series is going to be pervasive.
Well, yeah. People are talking about it, right? Yeah. I don't know. Do you even remember the case?
What do you mean? Do I remember the case?
The Eliza Lamb case when it first hit.
I didn't even know about it until we brought on that guest.
Really?
That was the first time I heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I had no idea that something like that happened.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's very sad.
It is
And
sad, yeah.
I mean, you can go to YouTube or anywhere else and see the footage. If you've never seen the footage, excuse me, of her last known moments before her death, some footage is out there of her in the Cecil Hotel's elevator and the door opening, and she seems to be talking to somebody, but there's nobody there, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And she's acting very erratically, very unusual, and strange.
Maybe maybe she got some bad drugs from some people.
Yeah, well, see, that's another thing. Were drugs involved? Who knows? Anyways, so the information that I was looking for, I found, is the documentary was called "What Happened to Eliza Lamb," right? And we had on Jake Anderson.
That's it. Okay.
Jake Anderson, who was on the show to talk about the documentary. The documentary was fully funded, but again, I don't really see anywhere where you can see it or find it or whatever else. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that if anyone's looking for that. The one I think the Jake Anderson one, the person that we had on to talk about it, their approach was basically more or less to sort of cover all bases. Where I think this one with Netflix is basically just going to kind of give you the mysterious sort of aspects of the case.
Yeah.
Going on the fact that, okay, something, mysteriously happened to Eliza Lamb, that somebody did it, that somebody, put her up in that, water tank and all that kind of shit. Where realistically she probably climbed up, which I don't think that could ever happen. The way it just seems very impossible, and I get it, why they would think this way and why like, how did that girl get into the tank?
Well, and they're also saying about how does she get in the tank? How does she get in the tank and close the lid?
Yeah, that too,
Right? Because they go, anybody who throws themselves inside that tank isn't going to be able to close that lid so easily, number one. And number two, why would you? Because unless you want to kill yourself. And even then, that's a shitty way to die.
Exactly. I'm getting feedback.
You're getting feedback?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear
just a little.
I don't hear anything. Anybody in the chat? Let us know if you're getting feedback.
Test. No, we're okay now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mysterious case indeed, overall. And yeah, I mean, you can check that out now on Netflix. It's on Netflix if you're interested in the case. If you want to know more about the case, I guess watch that. Again, just I have to watch it, so I can't really make an opinion on it. Hopefully it's good, but you never know. It's Netflix. You never know.
Yeah, it's hit and miss.
It's hit and miss. So we'll see. But nonetheless, an interesting case, a very mysterious case. And yeah, it could be something as simple as, say, she wasn't taking her medication and she went into some sort of, tailspin. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
quite possible. Maybe she had some bath salts.
Yeah. I mean, so far the documentary on Netflix they really dive into. There's a lot of, like I told you, a lot of seemingly a lot of filler.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you got to throw those in there to sort of make, expand the story, the series to, I don't know, how many parts are there? How many parts are there, you know?
I'm not sure. I can see it being at least 4.
Yeah.
If it's only on Eliza Lamb, might be less.
Do we know who killed Eliza Lamb? Or do we really know what happened to Eliza Lamb? Yeah. But anyways, like I said, they go right into say like Skid Row, because I mean the hotel is basically not fully engulfed by Skid Row, and Skid Row is 54 blocks. It's massive. And I don't know if you know anything about Skid Row. Do you know anything about Skid Row?
Only the name.
So basically, Skid Row has been around for like 100 years, and it's a section of the city where basically, they basically push people into, and sort of control into sort of like a controlled area, if you will. People who are homeless, all sorts of stuff. You just get out of jail, you have nowhere to go. They literally bus you into Skid Row. Because all the missions are there, all the social services are all in that general area.
Wow.
You've got literally thousands of thousands of people, living on the streets, like in tents, in these little, like right on the fucking street. It's really weird. Like, do a Google search and just type in, Skid Row. It's crazy. Or go on, go on Google Earth and do a street view. I'm not kidding you, dude.
I'm almost scared.
Let me see. Hold on. I'll see if I can.
I'm doing some images right now too. And this is in Los Angeles, right?
This is Los Angeles.
Yeah. Okay. Damn.
It's literally
Skid Row, city limit, population too many, elevation 2008.
Yeah.
It's almost like Tent City, worse than Tent City.
So here I'm pulling it up on Google Earth. Yeah. It's massive, dude. It's massive. And of course, the Cecil Hotel is right there. See, I didn't even have to put the Cecil Hotel here. I'm gonna give you a street. I'm gonna see if I can find one. Hold on. It's literally the worst place, like, in terms of. Okay, hold on. Oh, look. So I'm going to do a street for. Here we go. It's literally. See, look. Can you see that?
Hang on. Yeah. I see that, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Look.
Yeah, it's just a row of tents, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just a row of tents, man. Yeah. Like, literally. Like, look at it.
That's crazy.
I didn't, I knew about Skid Row, but I didn't know the extent of it, how bad it is, and how big it is. It's just incredible.
We should go do a drive-by.
You could, but you might lose your car.
Yep, most likely.
Literally, it's one of the. They're saying it, in terms of crime and everything else. It's one of the worst places to be in the U.S.
Really?
I'm not kidding you. And I remember when I was when I went to San Francisco, and we were staying by the airport, and we took their LTR, the subway LTR above ground subway into the city because we were going to go check out a ball game.
Okay.
And we got off at one station, like underground, subway. We got off at one subway station. We literally walked up to the surface, and there was nothing but fucking homeless. It was like engulfed in homeless people.
Wow.
It was so, like, literally, and these people were very aggressive. Like they'd come up to you, hey man, you got money, very aggressive. And I'm like, wow.
And this is close to the stadium.
No, it wasn't close to the stadium. It was we had a fair bit to walk to the stadium. Around the stadium's fine. It's that area is pretty. It's cleaned up. It's very nice down by the stadium. They got a nice pier area. And of course, you got Alcatraz that you can see.
Yep.
Alcatraz and all that kind of shit. San Francisco is a nice city. I mean, don't get me wrong. But again, it's like any big city. It has its issues, obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
And this is aside from their earthquakes.
Yeah, exactly. Aside from the earthquakes that they have, but I mean, they've had a few, and I don't think they could handle a major one. I don't. I think they'd be fucked, screwed if they had a major earthquake anytime soon. But yeah, it's scary. I mean, the reality is there. The reality is there that that these things do exist.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I'm trying to be polite here. It's a messed up world.
What happened to the anima bit?
Oh, don't worry. It's still relevant.
Too relevant, man.
Yep.
It's scary how relevant it is. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, like the documentary, they get into Skid Row and the extensive area that it engulfs. I mean, even when you look at it, like I said, on Google Earth, it sort of shows you the boundary of where they like to keep it controlled. Look at, and just imagine if you had a house or something in this area.
I know.
You couldn't do anything about it.
Talk about cheap housing, though, eh?
Well, I'd be out of there.
I know.
I'd be gone. I couldn't live there.
Yeah, not too many people can, I don't think.
No. I mean, I wouldn't want to park my car there. Nothing. I just,
That's when you walk pretty much everywhere. Because if you have a car there, I don't think it'll last.
What do you mean you don't think it'll last?
It's Skid Row. You'll probably be missing some tires, missing some windows, missing everything.
No, I don't think so. I think somebody would probably use it as a tent.
That too. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's got heat, man. It's got. They wouldn't need it in fucking Los Angeles, though.
No, Los Angeles, no.
No. It wouldn't need heat. No. So yeah, that's just crazy. But yeah, again, if you want to watch the documentary, it's on Netflix right now. Crime Scene, The Vanishing of Eliza Lamb. And again, I don't know how many parts that is, but check it out. We got a question, I think. I think Ron wrote something there. I can't see it.
So yeah, he said, so do you guys believe there was something supernatural involved in the death of the girl in the water tower?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I guess the big question is how she got into the water. Yes, that's kind of still up in the air. I don't think they figured it out just yet. But someone had to have been involved. It's either that or she was completely off her rocker.
Off her rocker?
Yeah.
She might have been. Like I said, I don't think, I think she wasn't on her medication, I think.
No, and you know, the Cecil being in the location that we just discussed, there's a good possibility also that she may not have been on her meds, and B, she may have been on some other kind of meds that really messed her up.
Well, you know what? She seemed to be a very open person and not shy to talk to strangers and stuff like that. She seemed very open and inviting and talkative, and so I like she wouldn't shy away from a stranger, I don't think.
Yeah, and that can be a bad thing depending on where you are.
Well, exactly. So I mean, that probably played into it a little bit too. I don't know. Who knows? But no, I don't think there was anything supernatural about what happened to Eliza Lamb at all. Nothing. I think what happened was, you know, there might have been somebody else involved, some person involved that might have killed her. I don't know. Are we ever going to know? I don't know. It's just such a strange case.
Well, unless someone comes forward, I think by this point it's going to be difficult to try to pin down who was involved in her murder or her death. May not have been a murder, but her death nonetheless. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, Ben. You want to take a break? Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll discuss some upcoming guests and maybe some more about the Eliza Lamb case.
Yep.
All right. We'll be back soon.
We'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
This is Keith Page, and you're listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Enjoy.
good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be around this wild, wacky, and sometimes disturbing world of ours. Yes, that's the intro to the Mindset Podcast, a weekly attempt to open eyes and shedding light on what's really going on in the world, all done by ripping apart the media madness that masquerades as news. Join me, Gareth Davis, every Sunday on the Mindset Podcast. You can find the show on all major podcasting services such as iTunes, Stitcher, and so on. Or you can go directly to the main Mindset website. That's www.mindsetcentral.com. Check out the Mindset Podcast. Bring your curiosity, your opinions, and a sense of humor. And remember that some worldviews are stranger than others.
Did you hear that? Sounded like a scream. And as you can see, I don't know what kind of bone this is. It's rather big. If it's a deer bone, an animal bone, hopefully it's an animal bone and not human. But I think we're gonna have to report this.
And welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the jungle.
Talking about mysterious things, our little bone incident during our documentary shoot.
Mm-hmm.
More coming on that, man.
Did you hear anything?
Nothing yet, no.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it'd be nice if they told you one way or the other, right?
Yeah, but do you think I'm really going to tell you right now?
Well, I'd hope you'd tell me, not the listeners, obviously.
Yeah, don't want to give away too much. Come on.
Exactly.
No, I haven't heard anything yet. So
we got
we
got some pretty interesting guests coming up.
Yeah, we got a couple cool shows lined up.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it, man. You've been pretty busy.
I have been. Yeah.
You have been pretty busy.
Yeah, go figure.
So people, he doesn't actually sleep during the show.
I don't. Not always. Sometimes I do. Most of the times I don't.
So you did a little bit of guest recruiting, and you picked up a couple guests, and one of the let's go to the first one was somebody I threw you an article that you found very interesting.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Dr. Manuel Maititz.
And what was it about the article? Like what intrigued you the most?
So what intrigued me is that, and I know you and I have discussed this a multitude of times throughout all the shows we've done, where we complain that the scientific community does not get involved in the paranormal.
Yep.
So here we have a psychiatrist, which, for lack of a better term, or I guess you can consider him a part of the scientific community to some extent, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But he's written a book. Basically, it's called The Borders of Normal. A clinical psychiatrist destigmatizes paranormal phenomena. Let me actually put that up on YouTube here. Hold on a second.
Now, have you finished the book?
I have, yes.
Oh yeah, and your thoughts? I mean,
it's actually it's okay. So it's written, it's written like how a scientist would write a book.
So there's a lot of jargon in there. You're
not necessarily a lot of jargon, a lot of references.
Okay.
To other people and other events. He touched upon the events that he experienced when he was young, when his father passed away. When he was young, he had, I believe, an out-of-body experience. See, he tries to sort of like differentiate between astral projection, out-of-body experience, and near-death experience. Even though they kind of overlap, they are different experiences in the sense that near-death experience obviously only happens when you're near death, right? Out-of-body experience, you just sort of feel yourself outside of your body, but you're not really doing anything except for just sort of hovering above your body and looking at yourself and what have you. Whereas astral projection, you're actually going somewhere.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. So anyway, what Dr. Maititz, and I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I heard someone else pronounce it that way, so we'll stick with that until we talk to him. What he's trying to accomplish is essentially trying to destigmatize the paranormal, because what he says is that, and it is true, you and I both know this as well, is that a lot of people who experience paranormal phenomena are scared to come forward because of the stigma that's attached with it.
Yeah.
So what he's trying to do is basically trying to destigmatize that in the hopes of helping people come forward more easily, and almost to the point where it says, okay, hey, not all medical professionals think you're a nutcase because you've had a paranormal experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what first drew me to the book, and that's why I went out and bought it. And I read it, and you know what? It was a good read. Again, it read more or less like not really a scientific journal because it's not, but he does sort of have that sort of style because he referenced a lot of other incidences by other people and a lot of theories by other people. And that's basically how a lot of those journals are written too, right? But I would have preferred if he had gone more in depth into his personal experience and maybe some other people's personal experience. It would have been great if he delved a little bit more into that. But nevertheless, it was a good read.
But I mean, that's something maybe we can get him to talk about when he comes on the show. Obviously,
of course,
maybe,
yeah.
Dive more into the personal, experience that he had. I don't know about maybe I don't know so much about people like others where how much he can go in depth with other sort of cases. I don't know, but I'm sure we could obviously get him to talk about his personal experience or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure he has no problems discussing his own personal experience. But we'll see. We'll see what he says.
And I mean, he's been all over the place. I mean, he's been on. I mean, wait, I'm probably thinking of the guest, the other guest that we're having on the show. I can't remember. Was he? I can't remember. Was he on Coast to Coast?
Matus?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was on Coast to Coast. He may have been because he's done interviews.
Yeah.
The other guests, I don't think so.
Well, I remember seeing one of them. They were on Coast to Coast.
It's quite possible that it's Dr. Matus that may have been on. Yeah, he was on Whitley Strieber's Dreamland podcast. Radio interview Coast to Coast AM with George Noory. Yes, it was Dr. Matus.
Okay, so he's been on Dreamland and
Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing something, and I couldn't remember if it was for him or Justin, Dr. Justin Sludge, right?
Sledge.
So he's going to be coming on the show too in mid-March.
Correct. He's coming on March 14th.
Yeah.
And essentially, Dr. Sledge is an academic who studied and continues to sort of study the academic, I guess, when it comes to the occult and the esoteric world and sort of like magic, the history of religious sort of magical religious things. It's all from an academic standpoint. It's not from a paranormal standpoint, or it's not from a practical standpoint. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing I wanted to let the listeners know is when Dr. Sledge comes on, the topics will revolve around the history of magic, the history of esotericism and things like that. So it might not be for everyone, but nevertheless, it will be an interesting topic because it's one thing to talk about practical stuff where someone practices a certain avenue of magic, but that's more based on belief, whereas his take will be strictly from an academic standpoint, talking about where it began and how it got to where it is today.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be intriguing. Both guests bring, I guess, sort of different sort of aspects to the show, and well, also neither one of them have been on the show before, so it'll be neat to have some fresh perspective, sort of,
for sure.
Talked about on the show. I'm looking forward to both those two shows, and again, we continuously look for, I kind of think, different sort of guests, if you will, because I mean, look at everybody has had, those, there's like a, what's the term I'm looking for, those guests that go, do the rounds, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
And basically there's nothing new to say. It's the same stuff.
It is
on every show. And I mean, I don't know about you, but it gets tiresome.
It does get tiresome. And, these two gentlemen will bring, like you said, the different perspective. Dr. Matus is obviously going to bring the perspective from a psychiatric point of view, rather.
Yeah.
And Dr. Sledge is going to bring, his academic learning and, knowledge to where this all sort of began. Not so much the paranormal, but, magic, esoteric. By the way, Dr. Sledge does have a YouTube channel called Esoterica. So if anybody's interested, just look up Esoterica on the YouTube search engine. And basically what he does, he just discusses different topics within that realm from an academic point of view.
Yeah, so they're both going to be pretty cool shows. Again, very different from each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be a change. It'll be a change up because I know people are probably getting sick and tired of us bantering back and forth
Yeah.
about shit.
Exactly. The only thing that's kind of not disappointing but sad is that Dr. Manuel Matus is only going to be on for the first hour. So if you guys are interested, make sure you tune in for the first hour because that's the only bit he'll be on. And then you'll be hearing us ranting after the fact.
But who knows? Maybe we can coach him into staying.
Yeah, hey, you never know. Maybe he might enjoy it so much he will be willing to stay.
Yeah, we'll have to make it as pleasant as possible. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it'll be. Hopefully, it won't be a Columbo sort of.
Yeah, that's all we need.
I know. That's all we need. I don't think we'll have to worry about that.
No.
So that's cool. Those are coming up again.
February 28th.
February 28th and March 14th.
Correct. So Matus is going to be on February 28th, and Dr. Justin Sledge will be on March 14th.
Awesome. Looking forward to them.
Yeah.
And again, keep your eyes peeled to our Facebook group and whatnot. Again, if you want to follow us on Facebook, you can do so at www.facebook.com/Nocturnal Frequency Radio. On Twitter, it's Dark Discussions, and our Instagram page, which is Nocturnal Frequency Radio. And of course, here on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and like the show tonight or whatever, the live stream. That would be very appreciated. Thank you. And yeah, for any new guests that we're going to announce, we usually do it on our Facebook page.
Yep.
First and foremost. Again, Twitter as well. I haven't updated Twitter. I should. But we usually do throw something out on Twitter as well. But mostly Facebook to sort of give you a perspective of the show and what guests are coming on and coming up and so on and so on. So, yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to both those guests and more and possibly some more guests in the coming near future, obviously.
And hats off to Redmond. He's the one who suggested Dr. Justin Sledge.
Yeah, Redmond, long-time listener of the show. Thanks for the suggestion there. And that's great. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know who and what you want to hear about on the show, like any guests, people of interest, topics, whatever, within the paranormal realm or closely related, if you will. And we'll certainly do our best to facilitate those requests, obviously.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
And this is living proof that we do listen to our listeners.
Yeah.
We went out and got Dr. Sledge on.
Yeah. So so that's cool. Yeah. So I don't know. Is that it?
I guess. I mean, I don't know what else you have to. What else are we going to say?
That's it, I guess.
I think that's it, yeah.
Are we live Sunday?
We are live Sunday.
What have we got going on Sunday?
Not a clue. It's going to be one of those, we'll wing it as it goes along.
Valentine's Day show?
Valentine's Day show? Yeah, we can still. I don't know. Unless you're busy, I can broadcast.
What stories are we to do about pertaining to Valentine's Paranormal?
How about we do stories about how there are some people who marry ghosts because, people are crazy.
Yeah. Well, there is a few stories like that out
I know.
there, right?
That's why I brought it up.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
There's even a guy who married his sex doll.
I'm intrigued. I don't know what it is, but I'm intrigued by that box up in your corner there
Which box?
on your bookshelf. The blue box that looks like it hasn't been opened yet.
Can't even see it.
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, you're pointing.
On the top of your bookshelf. There's a blue box. Yeah.
That's,
On the bottom.
yeah. That's okay.
Yeah. That one.
It's a board game.
What is it called? I can't.
Called Carcassonne.
Huh?
It's called Carcassonne.
What the fuck is that?
It's it's kind of like what's that other? It's kind of like Catan in a way.
It's like what?
Catan?
What the hell is that?
That's another board game.
What board game's that?
Ah,
I've never played that one.
that's okay.
At least I don't think so.
I'm not a fan of the game either, so don't worry about it.
I just figured I'd get you to get up. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you see my Randall Gritchick doll?
No.
Hang on. See that?
Where did you get that from?
At a Blue Jays game.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. Send me a picture of that because I want to show my wife.
Yeah, so
I want to show Lenore.
that's thanks to Kevin. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 bobbleheads.
Oh, I got a shitload of bobbleheads.
Right? No, but I mean Jay's bobbleheads because
Yeah, that's what I mean. I got a shitload of bobbleheads, like Jay's bobbleheads.
because
You got the zombie one?
No,
Oh,
but
that's a cool one.
because whenever Kevin and I went to the games, Kevin would pick the games that had the bobblehead giveaways,
Yeah,
and that's the games we'd go to, right?
yeah,
So yeah, and I had more, but I gave some away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got a shitload of bobbleheads. All the J ones.
You remember
Buck Martinez clock.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you.
Do you remember the show Gargoyles?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Oh yeah. Cool.
See it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's cool. But you have a few of the pop characters there, right?
Yeah, I got the whole Gargoyles collection already.
Are those the only pop ones you have?
No, well, for me, I got the. Yeah, that's the only ones I have, and Lisa has some.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
This is
All
what
right.
This is what happens when you get older and you're bored.
Yeah, you collect toys. I got all sorts of weird toys.
I don't know if you consider vibrators toys. Nice. Leatherface?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, the other ones are too far to get to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Make me get up, but you don't want to get up. Hey, it's Mike Myers. We need to do an episode dedicated to all of those toys. Instead of our ugly mugs, we'll put their faces on. Dalek. Look at that. Folks, you're now watching Nocturnal Show and Tell. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's pissed off. Hold on a sec. Somebody's really mad.
Oh, Frankie, yeah. Well, no one can take his spotlight away. Come on. He's classic.
Yeah, nobody can take his spot. Alrighty, I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it, folks.
Until Sunday night.
Yep. This Sunday night, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and keep an eye on the guests. The guests are coming on the 28th and the 14th.
Yep.
Looking forward to those two shows. And again, if we schedule any more guests, obviously keep an eye on our Facebook page to, for any info on that. And again, let us know if there's somebody that you guys want to see on the show, or if there's a topic that you'd like us to talk about. By all means, please, speak up on our Facebook page or email us at nocturnalfrequencyradio@gmail.com with any stories maybe you want us to relay on the show, or you want to come on the show to talk about an experience you had or whatever. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Always interested in hearing all about that stuff. So until Sunday night, thanks for tuning in to the Freak Out Friday.
Yes, part 2.
Part 2, and we'll see you Sunday night.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Right. Take care.